You are now listening to For All Nerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. For All Nerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
For All Nerds is hosted by Tatiana King and DJ Benhameen.
For All Nerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Welcome to For All Nerds.
And what's up, y'all? And welcome back to another episode of the For All Nerds Show. The voice of the urban geek, the podcast where we discuss geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. The multicultural maestros back again to discuss another episode of the Acolyte. And it's your boy, DJ Benhameen, a.k.a. Chewbacca Khan, Lando Californication, the Riz Skywalker, Sith Happens, Jedi Master De La Soul, Handolo, Kylo Bent, Rogue, wonder why you're lonely tonight here in the spaceship. That's two De La Soul references in my AKAs, for those who know. And as always, I'm joined by the stymied at this moment,
Tatiana King, the Grand Duchess of Tech, also known as Lambo Calrissian, Gin and Juice Urso, Gucci Mane DeLorean, Good Grief Karga, and Moesha Anastasia.
The Moesha is boring. Shout out to E40, who calls brandy Moesha.
Oh, he calls her that in regular life?
No, he calls the liquor brandy Moesha.
Okay. I get it.
He'd be like drinking on that Moesha.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yes, very much so. And all right, last week we ended on a very dire note for those who've been watching all of our Acolyte reviews. Last week we were
Acolyte.
like, yep, Acolyte. Act right.
Acolyte.
Yes, Act right, Acolyte. Whoo, you say tomato, I say tomato, whatever. But we are back, and yeah, it was desperate last week. Yeah, I did not know how this was going. I had hopes. The funny thing is, last week was what I expected this week to be. Because I tweeted it. Yes. I was like, yo, they're going to finally flip me up, and they're finally going to, this show is going to turn around. I have a feeling.
They're going to give me something.
Yeah, it really didn't. This week.
It gave me nothing last week.
Yeah, it really didn't give me much last week. No, the fight was ill.
All right, the fight. Yes, we did praise the fight. But other than that, I was like, why are we here?
Yeah, after that, it just turned into whatever. This week, just like last week, started off super strong. All right, first of all, the opening was so fire to me. I have to say, goddamn, I'm gonna fuck their names up again.
Osha is with Qimir now. Qimir.
Yes, that's right. Yes, Osha wakes up on the unknown planet, which I love how they just say unknown planet. Hilarity. Osha wakes up, and I'm telling you, I was a little roasted, you know what I mean? I had a few gummies and everything, but that was the first time that I got that Andor feeling when she walks out onto the beach and then the camera pulls back and it's this dope scene and she just feels utterly trapped. That's that. Andor gave me that a lot, this feeling of desperation, this feeling of stress. And that was not the first, but one of the main times that I felt it on this show where I was like, wow, okay, what an opening. What's going to happen from here? Mm-hmm. Shorty's in a bad spot. You know what I mean? And she got the robes on now. We're tending between gray areas instead of everything just being white or dark or, light and black, whatever you want to call it. We getting into the middle right now. So that was a dope opening for me.
Mm-hmm. She, in my view, she's wearing dark stuff now. Whereas now May is wearing the light colored, because they switched clothes or whatever. Yep. I will say that overall, I actually liked all of the episode. I didn't feel like it was up. I feel like it was another, as I keep saying for this series so far, is lots of up and downs every episode. Some episodes worse than others, other episodes are better. And now it's not consistent in its feeling when it comes to every episode. There are episodes that I feel let down And then now, like, once again, then I'm like, okay, we up again. We back, you know, tell the streets we back up. Like, I'm like, that's how I feel with this. And I do agree with you, though, that this episode opened beautifully from the cinematography aspect of it. It looked fire. It gave it an epic feeling. I could have did without the unknown planet stuff, but I get what they were trying to do.
Oh, that shit was great.
I thought I got what they were trying to do. But a question I have for you, that planet actually looked like the planet Luke Skywalker exiled himself onto on The Last Jedi. Is that on purpose?
It did. I think that was on purpose. The problem is, you know, most planets, you know, look like Earth because, you know, they're shooting on Earth. So, yeah, it did. I think that was a callback. At the very least, it made you want to think about, okay, this is some remote location like the planet that Luke exiled himself to.
Sure, but then they kept doing lots of different callbacks, and including a lot of the dialogue that was stated by Qimir and some other people. So I was just like, okay, they're trying to do their homage right now. So maybe not. But I was like, ain't that where Rey and them was at? You know. Whatever. One thing I gotta say, Benhameen.
Yep.
Before we get into anybody else, I gotta say this. This is really important.
Okay.
Qimir is fine as hell. That man. When I say
the cutaway when they wouldn't show you his ass was pretty, like, I'm sure that was enraging to a large section of our viewing audience out there.
I don't know why they didn't do this like sooner. Okay, when I say if I was Osha, I would never leave that fucking planet. Ever. You want me to be your acolyte? You got it.
I'd say Osha was looking pretty good in them jeans too.
She was looking good too. They all looking good. And it was making me hot and bothered. I was like, wait a minute, these good looking people on the planet together. What's happening? Why did they have to have him in the hot springs like that? Like, I felt like this was an anime episode where they always got to have a hot springs episode where they put the sexiest character and they like, all right, character, nothing to do with nothing, but here's your time to salivate.
No, there's this famous GIF. I always remember it's like from the early days of GIFs. And it was a woman unzipping her like jacket, you know, and she had very large breasts. And it was like underneath it says frustration. No matter how many times you watch it, it's never going to happen, you know? And that's how I feel like when he was dropping that cloak off his shoulders and then they cut away from, you know, like, It was so many frustrating cutaways and shots. And I was just like, but wait a minute, I got it. So I know everyone's going to lose their damn mind or has already collectively lost their damn mind watching this episode. I felt this was pure fan cam when it comes to Manny Jacinto and his role as Qimir. Pure fan cam. Like, every shot you see here, y'all gonna see 1,000 times over. 1,000,000 times over.
And then they're gonna play the clip of him saying, well, do you want to come in? Are you gonna join me? They're gonna play that clip over and over again.
No, the tweet that killed me this week was the shot of him choking one of the Jedi, and someone said, "Me next."
I seen that.
That to me was just, you know, chef's just impeccable.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. I during the dark side for him. God,
look, I ain't gonna hold you either. I'm right there with you. Like, Manny Jacinto is definitely an attractive dude. Like I said last week, had me ready to do some more push-ups because, you know, that man is flexing on them, looking good, man.
I know where they was. I know what planet that was. They was in the good place. For sure.
Not the bad place.
That was the good place, okay?
Yeah. Not the fake me out.
There.
Yeah, not the fake me out. This is for real, the good place. No, Manny was looking good as hell, and Manny carried this goddamn episode. Like, I know that man's back is tired from doing them push-ups and from carrying this show.
Listen. Corrupt me, Qimir, please.
And just like with him, like, I know you're like, why did they wait this so long? It's the same thing I feel about Amanda, because I saw a recent picture of her, and I was like, damn, Amanda looking good. And then I watch her on the show, and I'm like, this woman is highly unattractive.
That's not supposed to be the focus. The focus is supposed to be who done it and all this other stuff.
I know, but you let Manny flex on him, you know? Amanda, look, by episode 8, that girl better be dressed up. That's all I'm saying. I need one shot, one glamour shot of my girl.
Well, she already got the damn.
Oh no, she was looking good this episode. Facts. Yeah.
No,
facts.
she was, but you said dressed up. I was gonna say she already put the fucking Kylo Ren Jr. helmet on. She getting ready.
There was a lot of sexual tension in this episode too.
Yeah, my
man said it feels good to hold it, don't it?
That's what I'm saying. There were so many lines where I'm like, wait a minute.
Come on, fam. That was wild.
Wait a minute. It was wild, questionable lines. And I was like, wait a minute.
That man said it feels good to hold it, right? Like, I mean, the part is she's holding a instrument that is what's the word for it? Phallic. There it is. So it's like that gift can, easily replace a lightsaber with many a thing. Sorry, man, it's bad for you out there. We gotta
stop drooling over them and talk more about.
I'm just saying it's bad for her because that's gonna be a lot of people like holding a lot of things now. Feels good to hold it, right?
Do you feel that because, like, to me, it was pronounced sexual attraction, but do you feel like, and this is beyond like shipping or anything like that, do you think that they are going to use that as a tool? Like, she's somehow, I don't know how long she's gonna stay on this planet with this man, forever if I was you. But when she do you think she's gonna start developing feelings for him and stuff like that?
Maybe not feelings, no. But he does say desire, is one of those emotions that the Jedi don't use.
Right.
And that he uses to gain power. So yeah.
Right. So he's using the desire, the way he touched her and stuff.
I mean, come on, man. You gotta run that game.
He is running big game.
My man was out there looking like Prince. You know what I mean? Bathing in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Like, my man was,
When I say I would have folded like a $2 bill immediately.
Buckled like a belt.
Folded like a lawn chair.
The thirst Israel, folks.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna try to stop. But listen, we got like talking about just really the.
No, let's talk about that. I do want to make note of that too, because when he does come out, like we talked about her wearing the darker colored robes, and then when he comes out of the water, because he walks to the water, we see him wearing the robes he was wearing before, and then when he comes out of the water, my man got on the bright whites, looking fresh and clean. And
he's cleansed himself.
Yes, cleans himself of murking all these Jedi.
Cleans himself as murder. If it was so
that
easy.
Opening when they re-showed my man yanking Yord, I couldn't. Every time I just cry laughing and someone in our comments last week was like, "This is a kid show, fam." That is like I said last week, it's a 1980s head snap. That was R-rated movie action.
But that's also besides the point. That's not what your point was for mentioning it, whether it was a kid's show or not. The point was how it was written and was certain things meant to be so goofy. And a lot of times when things are purposely written goofy, it's because they're catering to kids. Yeah. That was the point, y'all.
And I think they still do a lot of that, which always makes this show so weird to me. But we'll get to that because back to my man stepping out of the water, putting on the robes. He offers to cook her dinner. He doesn't coerce her to anything. He just, plays the good. Like, what is it? The good
in the good place.
Yeah, listen, he's in the good place. So,
and that actually, what you're saying is actually what I wanted to bring up. The fact that we're seeing more parallels again and more, this is more spoken dialogue about the differences between the Jedi and who the Jedi really are, what they really truly stand for. Because we talked about how the Jedi, they in fact, a lot of stuff that the Jedi claim to be against, they actually stand for. You understand where their rigidity, their rules, their, they actually hold on to the power. The fact that they go around the universe acting as cops, if you will, and deciding who and what gets to use the Force and in what manner they get to use the Force. I realized I actually watched the episode twice and I saw the parallels even with Osha and May, like when they woke up. So in the beginning, when Osha first wakes up, she wakes up in the cave, she got the food is cooking on the side, Qimir's fine ass gave her a little bit of a meal. And
robes is laid out for her.
He fixed her, he covered her wound up. Like you see that she wakes up and she's free to discover. She's free to move on her own. And she's free to, and yes, it's part of the ploy, but she's free to fall into the desire and the depths of that, right? Whereas if you look towards the end of the episode, when Soul realizes who May is, that is actually May in his house. When May blasts her, when May wakes up, she's locked, she's in cuffs. She's told basically forced. You now have to listen and talk to me now. It's like literally the opposites of what these girls are representing and what the representation of the Jedi versus the Sith and all that stuff. It's like all of that is being played out on screen as well.
Mm-hmm. And then back to that point, like you were saying, the things that are being said, like Qimir tells her, you want to kill me. But now, if you kill me right now, it's against the Jedi code. But just a couple hours ago, it would have been fine to kill me.
We was fighting.
Yes.
And now we're not. So what's the difference?
What's the difference? I'm still a dangerous opponent. I could still murder you at any joints. And I don't live by those rules. So you just don't stand here and hope I don't kill you? And that's, part of the Jedi code. But it's like another person in our comments for, like, oh, God, Jedi cops, I guess they're saying that we, are harping on that. And I'm
harping on it because it's important to harp on that.
It is important to harp on it, but I've also been one who was raised on Star Wars where I always looked at the Jedi not as cops.
Same.
And like the policification of the Jedi by the writers of some of these things has been kind of my issue with it. And even like the child snatching, that wasn't something that, I thought was, I guess they said that in the original movies. They always said that Luke was a little old. But I didn't know they were snatching kids.
They alluded to it that, like it was like Hogwarts or something where you get invited and you pop out in Jedi school. Like, not that they go and scoop you from your people. So
that came later.
That's right. But my thing is that's purposeful, that like you call it the policification. That's purposeful because you even said like on Andor and other shows where they're actually leaning more into it. Even George Lucas himself in the later years started leaning into it. Like, hey, actually, by the way, what y'all thought wasn't exactly what it is. Like he started questioning his own approaches to these characters, this facet of characters, if you will, right? Like, I like everything. You thought that. I always thought, the Jedi. I was like, shit, like, they here to save the day. Da, da, da. Not like, what are they doing behind the scenes that's questionable as fuck.
Mm-hmm. And that's just more, I think, taking an adult view of it too. You have to like look at things more with more complexity. You can't just take things at face value. So I like it and I don't like it because I want the Jedi to be this good thing. But then I get it. They have to have problems. Otherwise, you wouldn't have conflict. You wouldn't have drama. You wouldn't have everything that we have now.
You wouldn't have a show. But you also wouldn't have the truth. Because the truth is there's grays. There's no such thing as, from a humanistic standpoint, right? You're not a god. So there's nothing as perfectly good.
Yep.
There's like chaotic good. There's neutral good. All that stuff. Like there's different levels and different shades of gray.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I've always loved Ahsoka. Not the show as much, but just the character. Because Ahsoka was one of the first, at least in the live action animation, whatever you want to call it, where a Jedi started questioning the Jedi Order and everything they did and really went down the path of leaving the Jedi Order and what that meant. And we got to see all these different sides of it. Like Qimir says, the Jedi say there's only one way to use the Force. And we've already seen that in Rebels and Clone Wars, that there's multiple people and multiple sects, like groups of people who can use the Force in different ways. Like these witches we saw are one group, but there's also the witches of Dathomir that we've seen before in Clone Wars. There's like giant Force beings who just, use the Force naturally. There's all these different, levels to it. So it's nice to see that being explored here. And it's nice to see that the Sith aren't just being painted as absolute evil and the whole, rule of two and just like, we can't trust each other. And this dude is actually trying to build a relationship instead of, them always just being like, I'll kill anyone who gets in my way.
Right. Well, you also mentioned something that was interesting because you had said as much. Qimir says he wants the power of two.
Mm-hmm.
What does he mean by that in this context?
Yeah, it's interesting because we've also had on this same show, we've had people say the power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Correct.
So is he referring to the witches? Like,
remember, I told you he might have a connection to the witches.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you. And people have also made the point that Qimir comes off like a fanboy, like someone he's kind of like a Kylo Ren, but even less of a Kylo Ren, more where it's like, but in this episode, it's not so much fanboy because he does say that he was trained as a Jedi. So that does kind of knock that one out. Because people were saying at one point that, maybe he's just a dude who's just picking up shit from everywhere. Like, get a little Sith, get a little witch.
He legit.
All right, now let's do this. Let's offer some theories right now.
Yeah.
Because and I got to give a shout out to our YouTube commenters again, because someone else had called this, and I was like, nah, that I don't know. They were like, maybe Qimir isn't the Sith Lord. Maybe there's somebody else. And I mean, there's obviously going to be someone before him, but I didn't know if that was going to be explored on this show. I now stand corrected. I do believe that in last 2 episodes,
we've seen some things. We've seen some teams.
Yeah.
We see someone be a little bit more powerful than we thought they were. They were who they thought.
Yeah,
like,
but at the same time, I know that the showrunner Leslie wants to flip things, and there's a lot of back and forth.
Yes.
So what we because my suspicion right now, and I'm sure a lot of people's suspicion after this episode, is that Soul is somehow the Sith Lord behind Qimir.
Or connected in some way. Yeah, I actually said, is Soul his dad? I said that in big question marks with the Maury show going in my head. Like, it's just something about it where, I mean, that would be a nice flip. That's the first thing that came in my head. But then also Soul in this episode started giving me real bad vibes. Because you saw a piece of it when he was fighting Qimir and he lost himself during the battle. And when I say lost himself, meaning that he got consumed with rage and anger. He was about to behead the nigga. And I was all for it. I was just let the hatred flow through you. But then seeing him again, when after he told, May to take the wheel, and he went downstairs and he was going through his anger and grief. And at that point, that's why I think he realized what was going on. But you can see that he was battling his own emotions and it was really taking a toll on him. And then fast forward towards the end of the episode where he had May all locked up and he was just like, you and I are going to talk. I've been waiting 16 years to tell you this. And I mean, he'd been saying this for 5 goddamn episodes, but I got something to tell you. I got something to tell you. Now he's finally saying it. But the way he did it, it was a dark air around him. I just sensed, as Yoda would say, I sensed this, some evil within you. Something going on with this one.
And it's like I say, is it that, or is that what they want us to think? Now
that the nigga's just mad, and he just got something important to say.
All right, there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of clues there, right? When Qimir hides himself from Soul at first, but then when he does reveal himself to him, there's no real reaction from either of them. They're in the middle of a fight, but there's no real anything. But Qimir does say to him, what type of master hides himself. That's what Soul says to him, and then Qimir reflects it back on him.
And says, you should know, what exactly did he say? He said something like...
He said, something about...
you would know some type of shit.
You would know. So, right there, he's saying, you're hiding who you really are from other people.
Right. That is a clue, yes. He's just doing... Soul is on his fuckboy move right now because... Like I said, there's some of the questionable things that have happened I just mentioned, but also even when he was talking to May, even though May was fucking lying, talking about, well, when I was a Jedi, I lost a piece of myself. She's trying to act like her sister. And Soul says, well, I'm sorry if you felt that way. That is one of the worst fake ass apologies you can tell someone. It's well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you have a problem.
Sorry,
that had nothing to do with me. Do you understand? When people say give me, when people try to play like they're apologizing, that's what they say, where it's not a true apology. And I'm just like, why are you? And maybe he was just messing with her because he knew it was May at that point. But it's just why are you talking like that?
As Dame Dash famously once said, I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings.
Well, that's just an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. I'm sorry that your feelings are hurt.
Literally
by
saying
something
the phrase,
I said.
I'm sorry if you felt that way. I'm sorry if you think that I hurt you. That's kind of invalidating the person a little bit.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
No, saying I'm sorry I hurt your feelings means I know I hurt your feelings. Sorry, nigga. That's just being an asshole.
Yeah, true.
That's just Dame Dash.
There's a fine line there.
There's a fine line. It's
and
the word
Soul's
if.
not full asshole yet. He's not
Correct.
named
It's
Dash
the word
yet.
if. Well, I'm sorry if you thought that what I did was messed up.
Feelings.
It was like, listen, that's not an apology, sir. Whatever.
That's a very good point though. And my other one was what you were talking about, his emotions, right? Of course he's reacting to his boys getting murked.
Of course.
But he's also seemingly reacting to the fact that, you know, he has seen his former pupil again.
Potentially. I thought maybe he was upset that he realized he left OSHA on the planet.
No, because I am going I'm not going to go with the soul realized halfway through this episode that he had the wrong twin. I'm going with the soul has known since last episode because that's the only way that will validate my theory that Soul is the evil master. Because otherwise Soul's the idiot evil master. And I can't go with that because he's been plotting for 20 plus years now.
16.
No, but he's been an evil master. Like, okay, when did he turn to evil?
Oh, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, nah, this nigga been evil.
Oh, okay.
Yo, also, fuck Mog real quick.
Oh, by the way, what the fuck is up with Mog?
I don't know, but fuck that.
Just so people know who we talking about. when they back at Coruscant headquarters,
just off the break,
Gamora and them, they talking and shit, and then
Jedi Gamora,
and then the fucking Wayne's World character shows up. That's Mog, the one that's like, oh, we got
the over here.
Yeah, he's like a Beavis type. Oh, the one he's the one who tells Gamora Jedi, oh, we got the distress signal from Soul. What the fuck is wrong with Mog? Something's up with this one. And I mean, beyond just him being a Beavis, what is wrong? Like something's up because he seems shifty to me. He
Hopefully
seems a little shifty.
Swift death for Mog. I don't even think he's shifty. I just think he's incompetent.
Well, they all are. Otherwise, they wouldn't be red shirts.
Oh, this is true, but Mog is another
Gamora's just like, I sent him there. I gotta go with y'all. Y'all incompetent niggas. Like, you knew what the fuck was up. She knows what the fuck is up. Come on. No,
son,
I don't think
man's name is Mog. You can't expect much out of this nigga.
It's something, and I could be reading way too much into it, but like when Gamora went over to him and he was like, you actually coming with us? And he did that stupid conversation about her getting sick in hyperspace. But he turned around like when she said, yeah, I'm coming, and dipped. And he looked at his peoples like, why the fuck is she coming? I was just like, why is you so pressed about whether she comes or not?
Because he looked at his peoples like, Mog is middle management is what sus. Mog is.
It was sus. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, Mog is middle management is what he is. Mog is, you seen Aliens?
Yes.
Yeah, he's Paul Reiser's character, the nigga, you know, the corporate nigga. That's Mog. Yeah.
And that's now I'm just feeling how you're supposed to feel, I guess, in a mystery. Like you don't trust nobody. Because I don't.
Okay, that is good. That means, you know, that they're getting there.
I'm increasingly like Mog. Questioning a lot of people, like, what are you doing? And like people know things, and there's too many people who know things that are not sharing the details. And we know that throughout the course of this series so far, but especially now, it's like, can y'all just say it?
Why else would Soul dip on Jedi Gamora too?
Right.
I don't know. I'm asking you like that. Like,
okay.
Why would he, other than if he's not the evil Jedi Master? Like,
because he turned off his signal and everything. They said, don't turn off your transponder.
That nigga said, click and dip.
And he did that like right when May ran to the mic, like she was gonna say, yo, it's me. Because remember before he was like, I gotta turn myself in. And then she ran to the mic to be like, I think she was gonna say, yo, this is actually the evil twin, the evil son. Come get me. I think she was just trying to snitch on him. And at that point, he was like, nah, B, and that's why he left. I don't know. I mean,
unless he's the evil dude. Because, like, unless, like, I guess he might want to, you know, have his space to tell her, you know, so the episode can happen.
I'm sure he wants to have the space to tell her, but did you have to, like, literally skirt on them right before they got there? Like,
all right, see, now I'm trying to give this show more credit than I've been giving it in the past, so I'm like, it can't be Soul. You know, I called it was Qimir. And now I'm like, it can't be this nigga. You know, I've been giving this show way less credit. And it's because this was the first episode where I was finally like, wow, okay, here we go. You know, this is what I'm talking about. It was finally an ending where, even though the ending I was tight, it wasn't like I was laughing like I've laughed at pretty much every other ending on this show.
Every I've been laughing, yeah.
Oh my God, that Chewbacca ending lives rent free in my mind. Anytime I want to roll, I just start thinking about that nigga. and I'm rolling.
Chunaka, we
yeah,
talking about?
Chunata, boy, like whatever, you know what I mean? Because that man was not it. She, they, I seen this rapper on Unfortunate Bars today. My man said, he, her, she, they, them.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. Anyone
All
can get it.
I
was like,
yeah,
love
I like
it for
that.
the youth. Yeah, respect.
I love it. Equal opportunity fading.
Ops.
I love it.
Equal opportunity ops out here. Progressive ops. So they say.
Progressive.
Yeah, anyone can get it.
Pronoun positive. Love it.
Like, you know what I mean? I need to see somebody do that in a battle. LGBTQ. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter, fam. Like,
yo,
I'll do all of you, whatever. Ooh, look at that right there. You know what I mean?
So,
hey, yo, though, that's
you're going back and forth. First, you're saying Soul could be the real
He's
main
got
guy.
To be at this
then you
point.
say, well, you don't think he is.
No, but
which one is it? Is it Uchiwali or is it One Mike?
I don't know because I called Qimir early. You know what I mean? I was like, this nigga's definitely evil.
Mm-hmm.
Soul has been giving me slightly evil vibes, and because other people have been saying that, and I didn't really think, oh yeah, well they're gonna get into whoever Qamir's master is. I didn't really think that was the case. But now that you show him with the lightsaber slash on the back, you're going to have to get into who gave him that lightsaber slash. You showed it to me multiple times this episode. I know that next episode is directed by the same dude who did 3, our favorite one, and is known for doing the real twist tales. So
the Shyamalan?
Yeah, so I feel like 7 is going to be that one where it's from a certain point of view. I even said this before, because that's the famous phrase of the Jedi, from a certain point of view. And so I was hoping the next episode is called From a Certain Point of View. And they do, show you everything from different points of view that we've already seen and see, oh, okay, this nigga was the Sith Master rolling in with these Jedi idiots who didn't realize who he was. Mm-hmm. Or they're all Sith, maybe. Maybe that whole 4 of them is Sith. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. 2 questions then. Especially if like the whole twist of the series is it's not even about May or Osha. They're not the mains, right? Like that's the thing, right? Like, so what would be the ultimate purpose of the twins? Like, let's go back to episode 3 when they talked about how the twins came to be in this world.
Oh, that's another thing. You still don't know that.
Right. And even Qimir was just like, when Osha was just trying to say that, oh, Soul is this all-powerful guy, and he taps into the Force, and Qimir looked at her like, he basically told her, you are the Force.
Man, I know. Oh God, I know that. I always forget, the internet and Star Wars fans, and I know they are sick mad right now because they were sick mad already, and I know this episode even made them more mad because people want Luke to be the first one born from the Force. I mean, not Luke, Anakin, right? Yeah, Anakin to be the first one born. From the Force.
The Immaculate Conception type.
Yeah, and I've always thrown up in my mouth when that came up. So, the idea of anyone being, immaculately conceived.
But what else
from the
can
Force,
May and Osha be? They were conjured. They're literally conjured by witches.
But I think they're going to get into that it's different than whatever, made Anakin. Because I know Disney and Star Wars wants to keep Anakin special, And so they're not going to betray that. Even though they got fans upset already thinking they have, I know they're going to come around to a different way. Because... one, we've seen the witches of Dathomir do all kinds of shit, like raise people from the dead. I think they've done a lot of different things, on the Clone Wars. They were doing some wild out stuff. So it's already precedent for that, So who knows how these twins actually came to life? Because that was something else she said. If the Jedi knew, nigga. And the Jedi don't know how to create life or any of that thing. So that's something that's it. I think, like you said, one, Qimir has a connection to these witches, and these witches are more of what the Jedi would consider to be the dark side.
Maybe. And like I said, just back to this whole thing about what Osha and May represent and what they are, and how Qimir is trying to explain that to her. And then, so back to when it comes to Soul, so what purpose do the twins serve? Like, what ultimate purpose do the twins serve? They're not really the main characters, if you will, right?
Oh, they are the main characters.
They're the main characters on paper. But you know what I mean? Like, are they the main ultimate goal, right? And if they are, then For what? Like what purpose are they going to be absorbed by somebody? Like what is their point? Are they the two? Are they the two when they talk about the power of two? Like you understand what I'm saying? Like there's lots of different ways they can go about this. And so that was some of the questions I had. And
I mean, I think Moesha is still bound to happen.
Moesha gotta happen.
Moesha
gotta fucking happen.
Say the twins gotta, spin around each other.
Yeah.
And, form new clothes on themselves, get new hairdos, all that glow up. You know what I mean? Have a glamour shot real quick.
You said that Soul was kind of giving you, evil stuff. Soul it's already been starting to give me bad vibes. And particularly... Huh?
No, go ahead and finish.
Soul was particularly giving me bad vibes. I have a question, and it could just be costuming. Why is he always wearing gloves? He does not take them off.
I also noticed that Soul had on gloves when he was talking to May towards the end.
Right. But I'm thinking about, I didn't go back to the other episodes, but I noticed throughout this episode, I'm like, wait a minute, does this nigga always have gloves on no matter what?
When he was swimming, he didn't.
Swimming?
He was naked. Yeah.
Soul.
Oh, Soul.
Soul.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's what I was talking about. Okay, I thought you'd say
no. It's fine. And that's why I said Soul.
No, and that was I didn't go back either. But whenever niggas wear dark gloves in Star Wars,
I'd be like, wait a minute.
It's like my nephew said when he was like, I think 10, 11 at the time. And when he saw The Force Awakens, he said, as soon as I saw him walk out on the bridge, I knew it was tight. Because whenever somebody goes out on a bridge in Star Wars, it gets tight.
Ain't looking good for you.
Yeah, but whenever niggas wear dark gloves, that's always that's like the first outfit to being evil. You know what I mean? It's like when they put the glove on, that's like, sorry, OJ, rest in peace. That's like the first step to being evil.
That is like dark side wardrobe, number one, or tapping into the dark side. Like, for example, using Luke Skywalker, when he leveled up, really, when he had the all black fit on, he was wearing, and yes, for a reason, he had that one glove, but he started doing the whole glove situation. Yep. He started doing Michael Jackson. So I said, wait a minute,
I always, and I've watched Return of the Jedi so many times, but I always remember as a kid thinking there was this shot where he looks down at the glove, like after fucking with Vader for a second. I'm not sure if that shot's actually in there, but that's how I'd always imagine in my mind, because that's how much that glove meant to me as a kid. Like, that nigga's turning evil. That nigga got the black glove on. I didn't even realize the suit was black as a kid. I didn't get that, but that glove was like,
whew. The glove. So, like I said, again, could just be costuming, but I'm just like, out of everybody, he's the only one that wears them all day, every day, 24/7. So I'm just like, what is that about? Like, is it something wrong with his hands? Burned up in that fire that he set. Now you thinking. Now you cooking with grease. You understand? Like, what is up? So
I mean, definitely that. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength. Because when he was sitting on the bed, and I was like, damn, this nigga really got the gloves on. That's when I was like, oh, this nigga's the evil man. Like, when I saw the glove, I swear to God, at the end of the episode, because I didn't notice him, like you said, throughout the episode, I wasn't sure. I didn't go back and have time to watch it. But when he was sitting next to her on the bed, had the gloves, I was like, oh, this nigga's evil. That was the first thought in my head. I was like, evil Soul. Like, you can go look at my tweet. I tweeted out, Soul! That was all I could say. Because I'm like, not this nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, this nigga.
Also, like, we got to talk about Qimir again, because he's fine as hell. But him, I just like the fact that, as I keep saying, like, every episode, people going to say, I'm going to tell you, and then nothing happens. He's at least giving some answers, right? He's at least saying things and making you question, making OSHA question shit. And he had me hollering when he was talking about tapping into your desires and fear and anger. And OSHA was just like, that's the path to the dark side. And he basically said potato. Like, he was just like, and like, it's all the same thing. He said, the real word he said was semantics. But potato is what I heard. And he ain't wrong. And he's like, well, it's just a different way to tap into the same speed force. Like,
And it's always like, to me, as someone who, embraces emotion as well as logic, it always bugs me out that, the Jedi, like I said, there was a lot of things about the Jedi that I just didn't realize was the Jedi, as a kid. And then when I got older, I'm like, that's whack,
Because you didn't ask, how they were doing things. It was just accepted. But that's how, and that shows you the power of that, of what's the word I'm looking for? Not society, but that shows you how they had shit on lock. Like, You know what I mean? There are people all over the galaxy that are like Osha, that like, oh, the Jedi are perfect and this and that, and they bring order and fun and love and all this other stuff. And then there are others that are hidden, that are purposely silenced. Were you silent or were you silenced? That know the truth about what the Jedi truly be doing in the back. And also in everything Qimir was saying, he was dropping bars the entire episode too. Like, ask her, how do you love people who can only go so far? Those people
and that's what I'm
deep
talking
into
about.
their emotion like you are.
Yeah, like that bugged me out. Like, it feels like them niggas is on the night watch. Like, they can't have no women, none of that. Like, nigga, that is no. Like, like a woman can't have a relationship, a man can't have a relationship, but whatever with whoever. No. Oh no, what's the word? Chase life, like chastity? No.
Yeah, chase life. Yeah.
No. Not,
are they supposed
to
be chased? Are Jedi supposed to be like monks?
Yes. Okay, I know that because in the Clone Wars, it becomes a big deal that Obi-Wan falls in love.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it becomes a big deal that Obi-Wan was around fucking. Okay,
I mean,
sorry.
He was. I mean, that man was definitely.
like all over the galaxy type stuff.
No.
Spreading his seed type stuff.
He had one thing. He was in love, man. Obi. Clone Wars did Obi right. Like, that shit's so fire with him.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, that was a big thing, that him falling in love. So yeah, no. As
like,
far as I know, they're not supposed to have any relationships like that. They're like knights. They're supposed to be pure of heart, pure body. All that. Straight arrow niggas. Like, no fun.
They're supposed to be Kingsguard type.
Yeah, no fun, please. But worse, like the Night Watch niggas, even worse. Yeah, like
okay.
Kingsguard. At least you style.
Yeah. And then also
one other thing I gotta mention real quick, because there's another red herring being thrown out in this episode, is when Jedi Gamora is talking to another Jedi, and they mention a Senator Raven or
Senator Rayencourt. And I had that question. Who the hell is that?
Evil name, Senator Evil Name, and
insert Mad Lib evil name here. Like, okay.
And so whenever you have an evil senator who's opposed to the Jedi, once again you have another callback to the senator who's Palpatine, who starts it all up.
Yep.
And so, is this the guy or is it Soul? I'm still leaning towards Soul, because Senator Evil Name would be wild out of nowhere, even though I'm sure he'll show up next episode.
But I just think they did that to show you also the cycles. Like you mentioned Palpatine. That's the first thing I thought of. Like, history repeats itself type stuff. Like, this is the first rising of stuff happening, of stuff bubbling up behind the scenes. Because and the alien, he tried to play it off. He's like, oh, it's just another senator trying to grasp for power. And I'm like, that's that naive thing. Whether he was for real or not, that phrasing was that's that same naive phrasing that they was using in Palpatine's day. So I'm just like, here we go again.
I think that's what it is. I think this one is more of a red herring, and also, like you said, to show, because this is 100 years before, so this is the first time a senator tried to grab for power. Maybe he was with the Sith, maybe he wasn't, but he's going for it, and the Jedi are just acting like that shit is whatever. As we know, eventually it ain't whatever.
Remember when you said that Soul had ran up after the battle, that he ran up in the ship because he wanted to snitch and be like, yo, the Sith is back. Like saying like the redcoats are coming type stuff. But he never really yelled that out on the radio.
He had time too.
He had plenty of time. And at first, now that we've been talking, I'm like, whoa, what's that about? But then at first I was just like, is it because it's too sensitive information? You don't want to just put that out there on the airwaves? Like, yo, I see the Sith is here. You know what I'm saying? Because you said that once the Sith ain't supposed to be there, right? Ain't nothing supposed to be disturbing the Jedi Order at this point. So for that's a big deal. And you can't let people just be knowing what you said it, like when you used the term reveal yourself, you didn't mean literal. You meant the fact that, yo, I'm in existence when it comes to Qimir. So I'm like, why did he not say that outright? Yo.
The more I'm thinking this show might end on some Moesha-ish, but I'm thinking it also ends on like a bad note. Like, I think it ends on Soul or whoever it is getting away with some of this. And going back into the order, like, and like just maintaining the infiltration.
I think so. And it would be nice that it's not just a happily ever after, because this is not even a happily ever after type story. Like, it's had so many bouts of annoyances and other stuff, and to me, a payoff would be like the heroes, quote unquote, don't win.
Yeah.
Like this is just a precursor to what you learn later about the Star Wars universe and stuff like that.
And I think that would be
like
right.
Thanos wins.
The show is The Acolyte, and that's what we were all betting on. Someone else left a comment on YouTube. I didn't even notice. They said there was a promo poster that they have where it's the Sith's red lightsaber, but instead of the blade of light, it's blood. And I'm like, damn, that's fire.
That go hard, number one.
And that's such a different show than what we've been getting up until now. And now I'm like, okay, this might be that show. Again, y'all, I am, once again, I'm
because it's still on the verge of bait and switch, but
yes, but I'm Lucy is holding that ball, and I'm Charlie Brown walking up to kick it again. I'm hyped for next week.
Yeah, I find it funny that Osha was all, "I'm not my sister. I'm not that easily corrupted." Shorty, I got news for you.
Them niggas walked up and you dipped immediately. Immediately, nigga, as soon as these niggas, you ain't never seen them before in your life, nigga. It was your bid night, your graduation night, and you said, fuck this school.
You went to the Philippines with Qimir and folded like fresh laundry.
I mean, you folded at every opportunity is what's really, it's true to your character to fold like fresh laundry. Because you folded as a child. You folded when you left.
She said she failed, Ben. When Qimir was questioning her, like, why'd you leave them? Tell the truth. She's like, because I failed. What did you
And
fail?
I don't think that's true either. I definitely don't believe any of that. No.
What did you
fail?
But
again, you folded. So at least 3-4 times in your life, you folded instantly. So you talk about you ain't easily corrupted. Qamir's like, nigga, please. Let me just flex one more time on you. We'll see about that.
The corruption is strong with that one because she put on that helmet. She was so damn curious about that helmet, boy. She put on that shit immediately on some Apple Vision shit. Like, was ready. And she's like, oh, this is that way.
Started taking them Darth Vader breaths.
Darth Vader breathing.
The mini Darth Vader breaths.
Darth Vader breathing.
Yeah.
Like, what else is there to telegraph here?
Man, when that shit first showed up, I was like, this gonna be the basic bitch costume of NYCC. But now I can't wait to see niggas in this costume.
That's gonna go hard.
It's gonna go so hard. Yeah. And there's gonna be a lot of Asian cats who are cut up doing this shit, And I'm
looking good.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Do it, brothers. You know what I mean? Get out there. This is your chance to shine. You got one right here. Don't let them white dudes do it.
I had some more minor notes. Like, I just wanted to say, poor Jackie. We didn't have to see her dead, lifeless body again like that.
Damn.
Like, why'd I have to do that?
And Yord looks dead at the camera when that nigga zoinks him. It is, I laughed, but that shit was horrific.
It was the aftermath. I just didn't expect them to come Jackie back down and then make you watch them with the limp body. Like, damn, okay, fuck.
Not limp, stiff, cold by that point.
Rigor mortis.
Yeah.
What else? Another minor note.
Whenever you say rigor mortis, I think of the rapper Scarface. He had a bar where he said it, in his voice. Rigor mortis. It's just like, he had said, he said something about how the rigor mortis set in, and it's like,
okay. Yeah. My nigga Basil, he knows when to dip. Once again.
Shout outs to Basil and the animation team on Basil. I hated that nigga, but he looked amazing this episode. Good, though. He looked so dope this episode.
You like his little fighting? His little
just everything, like his expression. Shout out to the animation team. This was the first episode where I was like, oh, okay, this show costs money.
Animated? It looks almost like, what is that called? Practical effect, like someone in a suit almost.
No, there ain't no little nigga in Basil. That nigga's like 2 feet tall.
That could be camera tricks. I'm just saying, like somebody in a suit, the way he's moving.
I think his face is pure animation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's some amazing shit. But this is the first episode where I was like, okay, this show looks like it costs a lot of money. I was like, wow, okay, this looks really good.
Well, it does cost a lot of money, as you told us last episode.
I know, but this is the first time it looked like it.
Well, okay. What's another thing when the lights went out for like the 5th time on the ship, and Soul was like, you want to go check on that? Looking at May, and May was like, why you asking a nigga? Like, is it because I'm black? Like, why I gotta... We know why.
Right. Oh, right. I'm a mechanic.
Right, I'm a mechanic, right? Because she looked at him, and you saw she turned around, she rolled her damn eyes, like, well, why the fuck I gotta do it? Like, I'm like, bitch, because you know, come on. But
you a mechanic, nigga.
Right. But it was kind of like he was testing her because he said it. He said it like, you want to go fix that? No. And he like stared at her for a minute.
I said this last week. I don't care if he's a Sith Lord or a Jedi Master. Either way, this nigga knew from last episode. Otherwise, he's a pure idiot.
For a minute, I was just like, he didn't realize until after he went downstairs the first time. Like,
I said this.
When he was going through his emotions.
I don't care which one it is, dog. He knew from last episode. Otherwise, he is the worst. Like, the worst, nigga. Her hair was stinking when she rolled upon him last week. Ain't no way he wasn't like...
What you know what would be fucking funny?
Tati, I know you get your joints burned when they at the shop.
No, that's back in the day. You used to burn them, but I know what that smells like. No, but I know what that smells like.
You know, but I know what that
smells like. And now,
you know
what would be fucking funny if the next episode he was like, "I smelled
your hair."
Not hair, locks.
Girl. Acting like that shit don't stink.
Listen. So what? So this whole episode is also just pushing the idea of two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
The lightness and the darkness and all this other stuff, and also just again just challenging everything the Jedi ever has said or done, and why should we be listening to them and all that stuff. Now Osha got the helmet on. What happens next?
We get the flashback, like I told you. We see
the full. We're gonna see everything.
We're gonna see everything.
Okay.
Yeah, from a certain point of view. Please let that next episode. Yeah, I will. I will spend a minute applauding y'all next week if that episode is called from a certain point of view.
It would be fire. Oh, and also I just wanted to say this. Shout out to the listener who left a chat mentioning that the type of, or maybe it was on Twitter, the type of armor that he was wearing is Katosa's armor.
And then they shouted that out. And that's actually my brother Drew. Shout out to my bro Drew who said that on.
Okay, I seen him say that.
And I was like, damn, Drew, well, they could have given us that information and then they'd give it to us.
Then they gave it after.
You gotta wait. Because
remember when I questioned it, I was like, why that blast ain't phase him nothing? Like, because that armor, apparently, it protects against weapons. Like, it probably disrupts that energy beam. And it blocks out senses. Yes. Where, it just puts you, as Qimir saying, deeper into the Force, closer to, which is like, when they say the Force is just the purest level of being and self, right? The base common level.
The essence
with nothing
that
else.
We all are. It's basically it's basically like the scientific idea that all matter is composed at its base level of one form of, matter, energy, whatever you want to call it.
We're all made of stars, all that stuff.
We're all made of one thing. And all this reality we see is all illusion because of our perceptions, etc., different things of that nature. But this is all just one. Everything is one. And that's just science, so that's all I'm saying. It's just and that's an age-old thing from, pretty much any ancient religion or a spiritual practice. It always goes back to all is one. Yeah.
Well, we about to see. You know what else I would like to see more of? That lightsaber whip Gamora got. That was cute when she pulled it out for the one time when she hit the Pokemon. Remember when they came down to? I'm calling it Mustafar. When they came down and she whipped the little Pokemon out.
Oh shit! Gamora's the evil.
You think she's the?
Yep.
Because of the lightsaber whip?
Yeah, because she whipped this nigga across the back. That's what I was thinking about.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking.
Because when he showed it, I was like, oh, that's a whip star. That's not a blade star. And then
he showed it like 3 times.
I remembered them in some news article, they were talking about a Jedi using a whip for the first time. Because it's been done like in comics and stuff, but like this was the first time on screen. And then when she cut that thing down, I didn't even think about it, but that did bring up another point. Maybe Soul is too, because both of these niggas love killing them things with no problem. Like, both of these niggas, kill living creatures like that with no problem. Soul did it too. Mm-hmm. There's ways around it, and people brought that up before, but that nigga definitely has a whip scar. He does not have a stab wound.
That's a whip scar.
That's a whip scar.
So she's, you think she the one, or she just in on it, or it was her Soul and somebody else, type shit?
God damn. They turning this shit into a better Secret Invasion than Secret Invasion was.
Listen, Talk about it.
All these niggas don't be Sith. Like, I don't know. It's like there should be like one Jedi who's a Jedi. It should be Mog. Mog should be
Beavis himself.
Yeah, Beavis himself is gonna be the one good Jedi.
Oh my god!
I don't know what's going on, but hey, fuck it. I don't know what's going on. I'm excited for the first time since watching this show. I am super excited for next week. But they got me excited.
You know, Ben, because remember, she was also acting shady the whole time.
Yes.
Like when she was just like, when they said all your peoples got killed, like that immediately she bristled, you know, and she was like, well, I sent him there. And I can understand at first it's like, oh, you feel guilty. But then her being there and her letting Mog say that stupid shit like Soul killed them all. I'm just like, you know, her saying, well, that would be a wild accusation. Like, did she want him to run with that accusation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't you just correct them straight up? You understand? Like, it's something going on. Something's not clean in the milk.
No, she definitely whipped that nigga.
And she's the one who threw Qimir away. She was his master, you think? That's what he keeps saying. He keeps saying about the master that threw him away.
Yeah. I'm thinking she's the master that threw him away. That would be a flip. And it would not, you know, and then it would get Soul out of this. And all right, now I'm revising my thing. I'm going with Jedi Gamora is a Sith.
Okay.
Soul is just a fake out.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, you have three revisions. Got it. Okay, we'll see.
No, because I was right on my first try. Qimir was always evil. Got that.
I'm saying 3 revisions this episode.
Oh, did I?
You said first Soul is the master, and then Soul's not the master, and now Soul's not the master. It's Gamora.
Yep. Well, see, it's really not Soul's not the master, because I kept going with that because I'm like, this nigga can't be. Because it just like one. Even as I was watching the episode, it'd be wild for him to be the evil master. It's wild for Gamora, but it's more believable because she's not out in the action like Soul is. You know what I mean? Like doing shit as much. So she could just be out there and no one should suspect her like that because of that. But Soul, I would think, would come into too many conflicts where it'd be like, nigga, you evil. You know what I mean? Someone would figure it out after a minute.
And Gamora don't be liking people questioning her. And she always be doing stuff on the low.
Yes, but again, both of them niggas love killing them bugs like it ain't nothing. And that ain't no Jedi thing to do, dog. I'm telling you.
They're not supposed to kill the giant.
No, you're not supposed to murder any living creature. Everything is one. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be out here slaughtering things. The
Force is full of, is in them too.
Yes. Know? Yeah, you ain't just supposed to be slaughtering things. It's full of the Force. No. And them niggas both, like, easily. I was even peeping her though, because there wasn't even no light source. She was just like, fuck this thing. You know what I mean? Like
she knew. Well, first of all, it was coming down. It was about to come down and fuck with her, and she was just like, "Not today, nigga."
Not today, nigga. You see this whip? Ready. Yeah, no, she the nigga whip that nigga. They're not gonna show you the whip for the first time in the same episode that they show you the whip scars.
You're right.
This is writing. So,
good job.
Yeah. Everybody questioning me on House. We'll get to that.
Did we hit everything? I'm glad I mentioned that. But did we hit everything?
I think we good.
Okay.
Yeah. So, final, I'm going with Jedi Gamora. I'm hyped for next week. This is the first week because we recorded this at a special time that I watched it at 9 p.m. I'm going to make plans to be there at 9 p.m. again next week because...
Now you can't. Why should you be disappointed next week?
What up?
You're going to be disappointed next week.
Nah, I promise you, because I knew that, like, 7 was the one that I was always waiting for. I was always like, oh, because
the penultimate episode.
They did 3, so I knew that was going to be another one, you know, because it was the same director from 3 and 7. So I was like, okay, they got one off, they're going to get another one off. Yeah. So,
and this
6 was a surprise.
6. Yeah, episode 6, Teach/Corrupt.
Very well done. Exceptional.
Very well done. And mention it, we only got 2 episodes left.
Yep.
So now this is a 180 from how we was feeling last week. We're like, oh, I wonder what they do next.
Yeah, we was crying at the end of last week. I also want to one last mention. You could just factory reset C-3PO at any point, nigga. Like nigga, I would have been shut that nigga.
I don't be for not all of them, some of them. Like I got my bands from Mandalorian up there, but like. Some of them I be having, you know, I feel like, oh, this is like a living being, right? You mentioned C-3PO, R2-D2, whatever. I don't give a damn about no damn Pip.
Bro, the Star Wars universe is so wild when it comes to droids because what show was it just now? Was it Ahsoka or Obi-Wan? It was one of those shows where they go to this bar where these droids are there And the droids basically tell them that we don't really worry about what y'all niggas do because we know we will outlive y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I remember that.
And they talk about how their life is always the same, you know, because every day is the same to them and all this stuff. So they view themselves as a somewhat form of life. And she was like, factory reset on that one, nigga.
She did a hard reset.
Hope you like your next life better than this one. Cause
picked that nigga up like he was a Nintendo Switch. It was just like,
nigga's eyes even turned red like he was evil now.
Right.
Like,
and I'm like, what is going on?
That nigga flipped on him.
Oh my God.
Nigga's like, I'm down with the Sith.
Listen.
Evil eyes.
Thank y'all so much for listening to us. We're in such a good mood this time.
Yeah.
I like the departure of being not in an annoyed mood, a very good mood. Thank y'all for listening to us and our review of The Acolyte. This was episode 6, Teach/Corrupt. If you want to listen to more of what we review, we also review a lot of different things in fandom. We also have a Game of Thrones related podcast specifically covering season 2 of House of the Dragons. You can watch it, listen to it. It's called Castle Black. In order to do that, we need you guys to subscribe and follow us at For All Nerds. That's how you get access to all of our other shows and our other reviews and recaps. We appreciate everyone who's in the chat, who or is on the live stream, or who is leaving the comments after the fact. We appreciate you because we do read them and we do interact with that. As mentioned, always keep it cute, keep it respectful, but keep talking. We appreciate that. Make sure you are also hitting us up on the socials. Remember, For All Nerds, I'm at Tatiana King. He's at DJ Benhameen. And Benhameen, Mr. BigDJEnergy.com himself, has his usual announcement that he needs to make.
Yes, because every week that we make this announcement, we get closer and closer, and I bug out more and more. Oh, shit. What's today? The 2nd?
The 2nd of July.
The 2nd of July. We are now 1 month and 11 days away from the release of Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze, a graphic novel years in the making, written by me and Mello Brown, my brother for life, drawn by the illustrious, the legendary Tom Mandrake, with colors by Justin Pokovich. It is a 144-page hardcover graphic novel. Like Joe Illidge says, it's one of them joints. It's oversized. It'll look good on your coffee table, on your bookshelf. This is a collector's item. As far as I know, there might only be one printing. You know what I mean? The little bird told me you might want to get in on this early. You can order it from BigDJEnergy.com. There might be 1 or 2 signed copies left. I don't know. Hit up Anyone Comics if you're in Brooklyn, or they ship nationwide. Anyone Comics has the signed copies. We'll also be doing a signing there, so you can come through. More details on that very soon. I'll also be at San Diego fucking Comic-Con the last weekend in July, doing a panel with Regine Sawyer, doing a signing at the... What up?
Of Wink.
Of Wink, yeah, the legend. The legend themselves, Regine. Doing a panel with them, also doing a signing with Mello Brown and a very special guest at the Titan booth. Some other news, we're having a press conference somewhere, not sure exactly where yet. I'll let more people know as that comes along. And a lot of things. If you're going to be out there in San Diego, please hit me up. Let me know where you're at. I'd love to meet up with anyone who's going to be out there. I'm looking to DJ at night. If anybody got any parties coming up, let me rock with y'all. And on that note, shout out to the Black Star Film Fest, because I will be down there immediately after San Diego Comic-Con. Black Star Film Fest.
In Philly?
In Philadelphia. Shout out to Maori Holmes. HU.
You know.
That's right. My sister from HU has put on the Black Star Film Fest for years, and they asked me to come down and DJ the opening night. So I will be there rocking that joint. I can't wait. I was working on my set today, boy. I'm pulling out some. It's going to be crazy. So if you're in Philadelphia, come through for that. A lot more coming up, man, as we move into the, summer and fall. I got a lot of things going on. Like I say, this book is dropping, so I will hopefully be in your town very soon doing a signing. If you'd like me to come through, hit me up, DM me. If you got a podcast, interview, anything like that, anywhere I can talk about Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze as well, hit me up and let me know. I'd love to come on your show and talk about it. spread some knowledge about his creation, everything that went into it. Just everything about it, man. I'm really super proud of this book. I cannot wait for people to have it. Every time I think about it, it just really fucks me up that this is actually finally coming out, because we poured so much blood, sweat, tears, love, everything into this, so much blackness into it. And it's just wild that this thing is about to really be out there. You know what I mean? Like, this is like my Andor. So yeah, this is
I
something.
love it. I love it. This is what's up. Again, go to bigdjenergy.com to get your copy of Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze.
And some free music. Leave an email and you're getting free music in your inbox, on the regular, all kind of joints.
Word. And thank y'all again for listening. Go to For All Nerds TV to subscribe to us. Go to patreon.com/forallnerds. If you like what you hear, you want to support us financially. Also go to forallnerds.com to get your For All Nerds merch. You can get a variety of amazing designs, and all the proceeds go back into making this show what it is, which is fire and magic. Okay, we are the Force.
Word up. And free Palestine. Hey y'all, thank you for watching this For All Nerds video, whatever video it was that you just watched. Make sure you hit these buttons below. Press all those buttons, that like, that subscribe, whatever you see right below these fingertips right here. Just hit them, hit them, hit them.